All right, it's the most wonderful time of year, and that is the fall fragrance season for Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. Hey Fragrance family, I'm Dave and I'm a Fragrance Pro, of course your best source for everything fragrance related. Now I have an ongoing series about Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements and their limited line of scents. Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements is a men's grooming company and they have a lot of products like shaving soaps, body soaps, shampoo, deodorants, a whole bunch of stuff. And they have limited runs of scents every month that go on for a couple of weeks. And you can get any of their scents in any of the grooming products, which I think is really cool. They sent me some of the aftershave versions, but they also sell eau de parfum versions of all their scents, including these limited runs. And if you're interested in these, they have a great sample service and you can go check them out below. I'll have links down below to all of these scents if you're interested in any of them. Now we're getting close to the cutoff point of when I started this series about a year ago, so there's going to be a little bit of overlap here and there. I think there's only a couple of fragrances I haven't reviewed yet, maybe one or two, and I'll get to those later. Once September or October come around, Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements is going into overdrive. They have a ton of great scents. Now their first one that we'll be talking about is Grove. This is a classic scent that they release every year, and it's very festive. Now notes in this are oakwood, cranberry, blackcurrant, moss, and apricot. Now this scent is amazing, and when I tried it, it reminded me of something, but I couldn't put my finger on it right away. And so I wore it for a while, and then it came to me. It reminds me of Enchanted Forest by Vagabond Prince. So I'm really glad to smell this because it smells so similar to Enchanted Forest, and that was one of my all-time favorite scents. It was just a great blackcurrant scent. Now there is blackcurrant in this, and that's one of the more prominent notes that I smell in here. But there's also some oak and then some oak moss that kind of support the base. I do get maybe a little bit of apricot, but it's more kind of felt than smelt. Just kind of adds kind of to that fruity quality that the blackcurrant brings. Overall, this is kind of a dark, fruity scent that is amazing. So definitely check this one out. Next is Briar, which is another classic scent from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements in the fall. Very dry, oriental type of scent. Notes in this are tobacco, oak, vanilla, musk, labdanum, rose, and crisp dried leaves. Now before we go on, I want to mention that this fragrance, this is the first time I've tried this one, and I got this and Malbolge together, and I'm not exactly sure, but they seem like they've been switched because the smell of Malbolge and the description of the notes there smell like that's what this is here in this bottle, and vice versa. The smell of Briar is what I got from the Malbolge bottle. So I don't know if this description will really even match, to be honest. Now Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements describes this as a crisp fall day pipe puffing in a cabin. And I think I can really get that. I can definitely see that. It's a great scent, very dry, sweet, woody, and aromatic. I also think this is a very balanced scent as well. I get all the notes here, but I don't really get one of them peeking out more than the other one. They all kind of get their own time in the limelight. And it dries into kind of a more pipe tobacco type of smell. It's a very pleasant, dry tobacco type of scent that's very cozy, masculine, and comfortable. If you like those type of scents, you've got to check this one out. It's really, really excellent. Definitely check out Briar. Next is Atomic Pumpkin. Now I mentioned this one last year and I want to mention this one again because it's out right now. So you've got to check this one out. This one is the king of fall. It screams fall. Notes in this are West Indian Bay, blood orange, allspice, cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, and elemi resin. Now if you slept on this one last year, you cannot sleep on this one this year. This is just one of the best scents. This one is a bay rum type of scent. If you're not familiar with bay rum, it's a spicier scent that has almost like a clove scent, but this one doesn't have clove. They don't ever put clove in theirs because sometimes it kind of irritates people's skin. But the West Indian Bay has an almost clove-like smell to it. But then they mix it with pumpkin and then it's just magical. You get all the kind of pumpkin pie vibes. You get the spice in there. It is so good. If you like pumpkin pie, then you've got to check this one out. And if you like more spicier type of scents, definitely check this one out too. It is absolute perfection. You get the sweet notes, you get the sweet pumpkin pie, you get the allspice, the cinnamon, the ginger, all the spicy notes in there. It is just one of the king fragrances of fall. Definitely check out Atomic Pumpkin, winner. But I am a little bit bitter that I missed out on the limited run of candles. Next is Ciderhouse 5. Now, the name gives you everything that you need to know. This is the smell of a cider house that makes apple cider. Notes in this are pipe smoke, mulled cider, oak, dried leaves, and linseed. This is an amazing scent. Easily one of my favorites from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements across their entire line. It's amazing. It's really great. Now, I've been kind of homebrewing cider for about a year now, and this one really reminds me of cider. It reminds me kind of just like the normal cider you can get at the grocery store, but also like the brewed cider as well. There's apple in here, but you also get the spiced notes in here. There's a little bit of a slight tobacco note in here, a little bit of oak in there as well. You get almost a dusty type of quality that I think is really cool. This smells almost like a bushel of apples. Like if you put your face in like a bushel of fresh picked apples, they have almost like a dusty type of smell to it. You get that from that dry leaf accord here, which is perfect. There's a slight smoky note in there as well, but it's in the background. It's not overwhelming. It doesn't really kind of assert itself. It's just there in the background, like there's a fire in the distance just smoking away. It's really nice. Appley, dry, leaf, woody. It's great. Definitely check this one out. All right, next is Harvest Moon. Now this one is a little bit more of a darker scent, but it's another classic that they release every year. Notes in this are oud, green tobacco, black currant, tobacco absolute, hay, Peru balsam, smoke, Spanish moss, and white sage. Now this is definitely a darker scent. I get the kind of oud and tobacco thing right away. There's a little bit of sweetness and it's a little bit dry. I want to kind of compare this to tobacco oud from Tom Ford. I didn't really get like a scent memory with this, but I want to compare the two and see how they are just to see. This is a very well done fragrance, especially in this type of genre. I think it's really well done. Very masculine, bold, and modern. And though it does have oud in here, it doesn't really smell derivative like a lot of other oud fragrances out there do. The oud definitely has a presence here that adds just a little bit of an exotic quality. It's not really funky or bad smelling, but it's just different. If you don't know what oud smells like, you can definitely smell there's something different about this fragrance. That's partly because of the oud. The tobacco really rounds off the fragrance and adds a lot of smoothness here. I get some other notes here like smoke and hay, and I do get maybe a hint of the black currant here, but it just kind of balances or counteracts the bitterness from the other fragrance notes here. Just adds just a drop of sweetness that's really nice. I think this might not be my favorite scent here, but this is a really solid scent that you don't want to miss. So yeah, definitely check out Harvest Moon. Next is Malbolge. Now I don't know if I'm pronouncing this name right or not. And again, I think I may have gotten this switched with Briar. Not really sure. Now notes in this are tobacco, citrus, anise, musk, patchouli, burnt sugar, black pepper, and benzoin. Now the reason I think this one was switched was because this one right here that I got definitely smells like pipe tobacco. Exactly what they were describing in Briar is what I get here. And when I smelled Briar, I actually got a little bit of licorice in there initially. And when I looked at Malbolge, it says it has anise in the notes. So it really makes me wonder if they were switched. But as it stands, just from face value, this scent right here that I smelled smells just like pipe tobacco. And there's almost like a cherry sweetness on there too, which is beautiful. And there's a little bit of vanilla as well. I've smelled a lot of scents like this, so it's not really new per se, but it's still done really well. There is a lot of sweetness in there, so know that coming in. If you don't like really sweet scents, that might be a turnoff for you. It is very sweet here. I don't really mind that. I like sweet scents in general, but this one has like a candy sweetness here, I guess from the cherry. To me, this is a very clean tobacco with some sweet notes and some vanilla. It's a really good scent. I think both this and Briar are worth checking out, but if I were you, I would just buy both of them together just to try them. All right, now next is a new fragrance that was just launched. Now, as I'm recording this, I actually got this about a week or two ago, and it's excellent. This one is called The Watcher. This one is inspired by Yardley Black Label, a classic aftershave of bygone eras, and it's also inspired by Doctor Who. Now notes in this are clary sage, spice, powdery, patchouli, vanilla, musk, woody, and sandalwood. Some of those aren't really notes, but whatever. Now, the original Yardley was released in 1969. It had a run until 1989 and was discontinued. Then it was brought back in the 90s and then discontinued for good. This is a recreation of the classic 60s version of Black Label. And even though I haven't gotten a chance to try the original Black Label, this one is great. It's a great barbershop scent. It's classic, masculine. If you like barbershop type of scents, I think you'll really like this one. Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements really nails barbershop scents, and this one it's so good. I find this to be a very classic, approachable type of classic scent. If you want to get into classic scents, this is easy to get into. It's not challenging like some other fragrances out there that maybe are a little bit too musky and maybe too old man smelling. This one is not. It opens with that kind of classic musk, citrus type of thing that barbershop scents have. And then as it dries, it gets warmer, more woody, sandalwood, powdery, and has a little bit of a nutty vanilla as well. Now, to me, this has almost like a barbershop talc type of vibe, and it is very powdery. If you don't like powdery scents, be warned about that. It's very, very powdery. And I would almost say that it verges on baby powder territory. I don't think it smells like that, but I think maybe some people might think that. Very much in the talc realm, for sure. I get a very classic barbershop talc that I find very comforting and warming. I know some people might not like that aspect, but I really like that part. But overall, it's an excellent barbershop scent that I find is very approachable, has a lot of development, and is really enjoyable. So yeah, definitely check out the Watcher. Great new scent. All right, last but not least is clown fruit. Now, this is one scent that comes back each year around this time. The Cult of Clowns loves the clown fruit scent, and I can see why. It's a great scent. Now, notes in this are elderberry, oak, absinthe, and tobacco. Now, again, this is another one that I reviewed last year, but I wanted to throw this one in because it just came out recently, and it's definitely worth checking out. Now, to me, this is not really much of a quintessential fall type of scent. This one doesn't smell like fall to me, but it is a very interesting, kind of dark, scary, fruity type of scent, if you will. To me, this has almost a bubblegum type of smell, like the kind of big ball bubblegum that you get in like a quarter machine as a kid. It smells like that. As it dries, the tobacco actually comes up some, and the scent itself kind of dries out, both in the sweetness, it dries the sweetness out, and the feel as well. It kind of dries in the feel. It's a really great scent. And if you get one, the artwork is scary AF, so it's just one of those scents you've got to try. Definitely go check out Clown Fruit. Great scent. So that is all I have. I may come back again next month and do kind of some that I missed, but for the most part, I got almost all of the scents from the limited run, but we'll just see next month. But overall, great scents. Definitely go and check these out this month. I'll have links down below, of course, to those. Definitely check those out. What are your favorites? Let me know down in the comments. I'll see you next time. I'm Dave, the Fragrance Bros. Bye.